Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good day. It is March 8th, and today me and Andrew are here. We're going to be talking about this week's severe weather and what could happen this weekend because this weekend's looking interesting. And like I said, Andrew's here.
Yes, I am here. This is like the first time I've been here probably for a solid few months. I'm here because the situation is looking a bit more major as we move along with the model data. As we speak, there is some zero Z model data coming in that'll help us with this.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started by looking at the Storm Prediction Center's website because they are the ones with degrees, and we can see that the Storm Prediction Center they do have a marginal risk in eastern Kansas, and that goes into northwestern Missouri and into northern Oklahoma right there. This is for day 3, so this is for Wednesday, March 10th. And general thunderstorm going up into Wisconsin. That's not really a big deal, though. But first general thunderstorm of the year for areas in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, so that's kind of cool. And the SPC, though, they do have, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have 3 day 4 through 8 outlooks out. The first one is day 5, so day 5, this is Friday. I'm pretty sure this is Friday, yeah, Friday, March 12th. And they have a 15% in Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and southwestern Missouri. We're going to be talking about Friday. And Saturday, they have a larger one that goes into southern Kansas and goes all the way down into almost central Texas. And then for Sunday here, this is March 14th now, we have a large 15% going from southwestern Missouri down into southeastern Texas. So probably the most active pattern we've seen for severe weather all this year. We are getting closer to, we actually, yeah, we're getting into severe weather season now. So we're going to be expecting it to ramp up soon. Now let's start by looking at the models. So let's go over to College of DuPage and we have the 00Z HRRR out. So let's see what we're going to have. So it looks like Friday is going to be our first severe weather day. You
You
can see
mean Wednesday?
yeah, Wednesday, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't speak right. But we can see this is Wednesday afternoon at around 1 to 2 p.m. We have our low to the north of Omaha. We can look at these streamlines and figure out where we have the cold front. So we have winds out of the southwest coming in the areas like Kansas City. And then right here, it seems like we have our cold front with winds coming out of the west right there. So, and then it seems like that's kind of what we have right there for our fronts. In front of this, we have warm, moist air coming up into the warm front. And then in the afternoon, the HRRR does not show a whole lot of thunderstorm activity. Now keep in mind, this is not going to show everything considering it's only at 00Z on Thursday, which that's around 6 to 7 p.m. And once time changes, it'll be 7 to 8. But we can see we have a pretty strong storm, or it looks to be a pretty strong storm traveling from northern Iowa into areas of western Wisconsin. That's right along that triple point, right along that low pressure. So that could have an enhanced tornado potential because there's higher shear up there. And then we have a few isolated cells going off in Oklahoma and southern Kansas, kind of by the Wichita area. So we could actually have 2 marginals get put in place. We could have one maybe along the low pressure system in Iowa where we have moisture in this area, some instability. And we could have another one on the southern part of the cold front where we have pretty high instability and a lot of lift. And let's look at dew points real quick before I let Andrew talk a little bit. We can see we actually, the most moisture is actually located up into Iowa. We have dews in the 60s, kind of to the east of Des Moines, sorry. We have dews around 60 in that area. And we have dews in the 50s in Kansas, where we have our potential other severe weather risk. And I don't think they're going to, if they do add one in Iowa, I don't think they're going to connect the two.
No, they
I,
won't connect the two.
yeah,
I
I
don't
don't,
think so. Actually, they probably will because there's an overnight risk across Kansas, so they
yeah.
probably will make a large marginal. And who knows, they might slap a slight risk in there on day one if we keep on getting consistent stuff up in Iowa or Kansas, one of the two areas, or maybe they all two slides. Who knows?
Yeah, Andrew's right. They could connect the two because we are going to have that overnight threat. These storms in Kansas will move to the east and maybe northeast, maybe in areas of Missouri, maybe even Illinois. So we're not to see that.
Yeah. I'll probably get in on some strong to maybe severe thunderstorms on Thursday morning. I'm expecting a marginal risk probably from Oklahoma into Illinois for day 4. What is day 4 now? Will it be day 3?
Yeah, this is Wednesday, so to Andrew's talking about Thursday. Um, we can see, yeah, Wednesday we really don't have a whole lot of moisture in the south part of this district. We have enough though. We have dews in the mid 50s. That's plenty, considering we do have a decent amount of lift and shear. Actually, shear looks pretty good in that area. I've gotten a few PDS 20 soundings, which that's just analog, so not really a big deal. We're gonna take some soundings in a second. So yeah, this is the dew points that we have. We can look at. We can go over to Cape. Let's look at surface-based Cape, and we can see we actually in Iowa we do have a lot of it. Also, we have around almost 1,600 surface-based Cape in Iowa. The HRRR, I'm pretty sure, goes a little bit lower with Cape than the NAM. In Kansas in that area, but we do have plenty of Cape for this time of year along the whole front. It goes all the way down into Texas. We have Cape and all the way down into Texas, and so yeah, that's instability, and really nothing else I want to look at here. Maybe UD helicity swaths, which not really interesting, but with that one but stronger storm in southeastern Missouri, you can see it does have a spike right there. Let's go over to pivotal weather and let's take some soundings with some of these storms. Now, I don't know why I picked this area. First off, we're going to start the southern part of our risk. We're going to take some soundings in the more southern part of it. So let's go down here. Let's go out to Wednesday. And this is the same model run we were looking at before, the 00Z HRRR. Shows our storms trying to fire off in southern Kansas. Let's take some soundings. Let's take one in north central Oklahoma on the southern part of that front. Not a very impressive sounding overall from the HRRR. We have a 55-degree dew point. That's okay. We actually do have pretty steep surface lapse rates. And shear looks okay. We have directional shear. Winds mainly veering with height. So that's good. And not really an enlarged Toto, but not a compact one either at the start of it. Does look a little bit messy. Okay.
My dogs are going nuts. Sorry about that if you can hear that.
That's fine. We can take some soundings further to the east. Take one in maybe
Jesus.
southeastern Kansas. And it's a marginal torus sounding. We have a dew point of 54. Instability is decent. Keep in mind it is a little bit capped at the surface. But it does look like we could have enough lift to push above that cap. And Hoda looks decent. So yeah, that's overall a decent sounding. Andrew's dog is barking a lot.
On crack.
Yes. And let's move up to Iowa now, actually, and try to take some soundings up there in that area. And by tomorrow night's video, we'll have the HRRR being able to go out overnight. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, it'll definitely be nice because then we'll be able to pinpoint different areas for different severe risks and stuff.
Yeah, we can go out to the we can go take a sounding right in front of this little potential supercell. Let's just call it that. And it is a torus sounding, but that Hodo is enlarged. We have pretty decent shear with that, actually. That's actually really good shear towards the surface. 58-degree dew point, so enough moisture. Actually higher moisture than some of the soundings we took before. And, yeah, so we go down further to the south, or not to the south, sorry. We go down further to the sounding. We actually have 541 surface of 3 kilometer SRH. And, yeah, so that's pretty interesting. We go ahead another hour. The supercell, also potential supercell, maybe it's in the Wisconsin. Take another sounding in front of that. And we can see we have, it starts to get into, I think this is probably when it gets north of the warm front because it's a 48-degree dew point, a 48-degree temperature. Lapse rates surface lapse rates really take a crap. We can see that Hodo still looks okay. That Hodo still looks, I guess, decent at the beginning. But that's probably the end of that storm's life. considering it's not really in a good environment anymore. So yeah, that is Wednesday. And let's start looking further ahead now because remember, keep in mind we do have a day 5, a day 6, and a day 7 outlook from the SPC. So
Might have day 8 go 15%. As I've been looking at that, I don't know if Tyler has, but there's a risk of Dixie with that is definitely could be worthy of a 15% if that gets squared away.
yeah. So yeah, you guys heard Andrew. Maybe a day 8 risk could be implemented. We'll have to see.
Or I mean,
Yeah, it would be. It would be day 7 tomorrow. Today it's day 8 though. Now let's go back out. Let's go look at the first off in the long range. We're looking at 500 MB relative vorticity. We go out to Friday. This is where the SPC has a risk Friday. Now Friday, I'm looking at maybe a lower tornado threat. I'm thinking because we don't have a whole lot. We don't have a lot. We have this year. The winds are changing, they're veering with height. But the problem is we don't really have strong winds at all. And yeah, and the Hodo looks pretty messy also. Um, and we go further to the south, or not further to the south. Why do I keep saying we go further down the sounding? And 60-degree dew point. We have decent cape, not a lot of CIN. That's pretty good. And surface lapse rates are, I guess, okay. Now this sounding would probably mostly favor just a severe weather threat. Maybe some isolated weak rotations. Doesn't look like we're gonna have a significant tornado threat Friday, but that could change. This is still 5 days out. Now, as this upper level low continues moving further to the east, it gets a little bit stronger once it moves into New Mexico. We have a pretty nice punch on the backside of this. And Saturday, we have the severe weather risk in this area. Take a sounding maybe in north central Texas. Marginal severe sounding Hodo looks kind of weird. Shear is okay. It's not really. It's veering of height, not significantly though. We don't have a major change in wind direction. And this sounding would favor maybe some rotations, mainly severe weather though, once again. Probably damaging wind, maybe some hail. Now, let's go out to Sunday, because Sunday is a day a lot of people are watching. Now,
including me, I'm watching Sunday for
yeah,
sure.
Sunday looks good. That's a pretty bad signing now. The GFS though is different. Now let's go to the European because the European shows something very different. So yeah, let's go out to the European for Sunday. It has the system being a little bit slower. We can see the upper level low is further to the north, and that's further to the north, and it's slower. It moves a lot slower. We go to precipitation type, just so you can see, because I don't have pivotal weather or subscription to pivotal weather, so I can't take soundings from the Euro. I need to get that. We can go out to Sunday. It shows maybe a squall line from. We have a surface low, maybe in like Oklahoma. It shows a squall line going, extending from maybe southeastern Kansas, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Which mainly that would maybe bring. Well, let's look into it further here. Let's go to severe weather. We can look at bulk shear, which will be a little bit helpful, I guess.
I've personally looked into Euro soundings, and there's probably going to be some embedded supercells within the line if this were to come out. The soundings are very well veered. You have a lot of instability with them as well, so that would support a pretty decent severe risk.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of there is confidence issues with this though, because this is, well, first of all, the GFS, which is another model like the European, it's good at mid-range forecasting. It shows a pretty different story. It doesn't really show that. So we're gonna have to see if this or how this happens, and once we get the models to sort of get closer to each other of what they're saying, then we'll have a better understanding of what is going to actually happen. We can see we have a lot of bulk shear in this area, almost 100 knots in some areas. That's pretty decent. But yeah, I wish I could look at more with the Euro and Pivotal, but at
You could
least
look at the Canadian.
the Canadian. Yeah, yeah, let's look at the Canadian. That's another model like that, like the Euro and the JFS, and we can take soundings with it also. So yeah, this is the Canadian, and we can go to precipitation type real quick and just see what it is showing compared to the GFS and the Euro. Canadian also shows, it doesn't show like a really nice line of storms like the Euro, but does show what looks to be a line of storms. I'll stick some soundings. Let's just take them. It looks like Sunday could maybe be a Dixie, kind of like a Western Dixie maybe, and an Eastern Plains event. 57 dew point with this. Some pretty, or not really good actually, sorry. It is pretty capped though, especially a little bit. It does get more capped as you go further up the sound end. And the Hodo is very messy. So let's move right up. Let's move up to the east of the, kind of by the surface low, or one of the surface lows. We have decent shear, a little bit capped, but that's a breakable cap though, if you have enough lift. Is a marginal severe sounding, and let's take a look at the Hodo. That looks better, a lot better actually. So it does look like pretty much Friday through Sunday, maybe Monday, we were gonna have several severe weather events. Now how bad these, or how strong the severe, or not that, how bad the severe weather is with these events, that's uncertain because we don't really have a lot of model confidence, especially for Sunday and Monday. We have a lot of model differences, especially between the GFS and the Euro. The GFS shows like not a lot, barely anything that catches my eye, but the Euro definitely does look good, according to Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but we will be back in tomorrow's video. And we'll talk about Wednesday again, and we'll also look at this weekend. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday.